Welcome to Gemcraft Studio, where all your favorite jewelry projects begin. I'm Sara Lovecraft, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a beautiful necklace using some free-form freshwater pearls. These are absolutely stunning. I used these to create a beautiful necklace for myself, and every time I've worn this necklace out, people have commented on it. So I thought, you know what? This is going to be a great project to add to our growing library of tutorials and inspiration here at Gemcraft Studio. I'm going to show you exactly how to create this necklace for yourself. Let's get started. For today's project, we're going to use a couple of different tools. We're going to be using our cutter tool. You'll need some chain nose pliers and maybe a pair of bent chain nose pliers in combination to open and close your jump rings. And the most important tool in today's project is our crimper tool, used to close our crimp tubes. We're going to be using about 60 of the beautiful Baroque freshwater pearls to create our necklace. If you need more of these to create a longer necklace, feel free to add some or take some away if you'd like a shorter design. We're also going to be using some size 11 seed beads. I'm using clear with a silver lining. These beautiful seed beads are not going to detract from the beauty of the pearls, but act as a nice little spacer. We're also going to be using 2 crimp tubes, 2 wire guardians, 2 6mm jump rings, and a lobster clasp. Now you could use a more decorative clasp for this project if you wanted to, but I'm really letting the beads be the star of the show for this necklace, so I'm keeping my clasp just pretty standard. That's why I'm using the lobster. You're also going to need about 24 inches of your bead stringing wire. I'm using 49 strand in a bright color. If you need a longer necklace or shorter, you're going to adjust that measurement accordingly. We're going to start by threading our crimp tube on to the end of our bead stringing wire, and we're going to hold that about 2 inches from the end of our beading wire. We don't want to drop that all the way down. We want to hold that in place, and then we're going to take our beading wire up through our wire guardian and then down through our wire guardian. Then you're going to take the end of that wire, the short end, down through your crimp. I'm going to show you how to crimp. However, if you would like to see a more in-depth tutorial about crimping, be sure to check out our YouTube video. Make sure that your bead stringing wire is running parallel inside your crimp tube. Don't want those wires to be crossing over each other. They need to be running side by side in the same direction. You're going to place that crimp bead into the back notch of the crimper tool, and you're going to give that a squeeze. Take it out of the back notch of the crimper tool, turn that sideways, and then place that into the front notch of the crimper tool and give that a squeeze. Now that you have crimped, you can either trim off the tail of your beading wire or you can run it through a couple of beads. Since I am using size 11 seed beads and pearls that are notorious for having a small drill hole, I'm actually going to trim off that tail wire right at the crimp tube. I'm going to use my cutter tool and get as close as I can to the crimp tube. Now we are ready to string our beads onto our bead stringing wire, and with the crimp and the wire guardian in place, those beads are not going to fall off the end. I'm going to start with a seed bead and then add my pearl, and I'm going to alternate between the two, but feel free to get creative and come up with whatever pattern you like. Instead of picking up each individual seed bead, I'm using the end of my beading wire almost like a needle, and I'm pushing the bead up against the bead mat to thread that onto the wire. Once you've thread on a few of the beads, you can see the pattern. Make adjustments if you want to. If you've changed your mind and you want to adjust how many seed beads you want to put in between those pearls, now is a great time to do that before you've committed to a long length of your design. But we're just going to continue alternating our pearls and our seed beads. Stringing this mini pearls does take a little bit of time, but I think that you'll find that the payoff is definitely worth it. This is a wonderful beginner-friendly project that even our advanced beaders are going to love simply because of the beauty of these pearls. You can also notice now that I have a little extra length here where I have thread on several of the beads, you can see just how important those little seed beads are in between each one of those pearls. It's giving them their own little stage. They're not crowding each other out, and that means that all of these pearls are going to hang downwards instead of kind of all over the place, which is the way that they kind of look when you first get them off of the strand. So you're going to have a beautiful result at the end of this. I promise the time it takes to string these up is worth it. We've made it to the end of our project, and I'm going to finish with a seed bead, and then we're going to thread on our crimp tube and crimp the end. All right, just like when we started, we're going to thread our crimp tube on, and then we are going to thread our wire guardian on as well. Now, even though there's not as much length of the bead stringing wire, I'm still holding that crimp tube about 2 inches from the end of the beading wire, just so I don't have to chase it down when I'm ready to crimp. I'm going up through the wire guardian, down through the wire guardian, and then down through our crimp tube. We're going to pull this down and pull out all of the excess length of the beading wire that we don't need so that our crimp tube is right up against our very last seed bead. Again, make sure that your wires are not crisscrossing inside your crimp tube. Those wires need to be running parallel. You're going to place that into the back notch of your crimper tool and give that a squeeze. Take it out of the back notch, turn it sideways, and place it into the front notch of the crimper tool. Give that a squeeze, and then you're going to use your cutter tool to trim off the excess beading wire. To finish off our project, we're going to be using our chain nose pliers and our bent chain nose pliers to attach our jump rings and our clasp. Take one jump ring between 2 pairs of pliers, twist to open, thread your jump ring onto one of your wire guardians. Before you close your jump ring, add your lobster clasp, and then use your pliers to twist to close the jump ring. On the other side of the necklace, another jump ring, hold between 2 pairs of pliers, twist to open, attach to your wire guardian, and twist to close. And your project is complete. No 2 necklaces will be exactly the same. These beautiful pearls all have their own individual personalities, so everyone's necklace is going to have a little style all to itself. Absolutely beautiful project. Thanks for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed today's project. I'm Sara Lovecraft. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our future projects. And let me know in the comments, what are your favorite pearl shapes? What would you like to see in some upcoming projects?